Morning, children. We begin with Standard 4 English Grammar, Unit 4, the verbs, the kinds of verbs. Now let us look at these pictures and read these sentences. The first one, Raman runs. Second, the girls dance. Third, fish swim in the river. Fourth, fire burns. So, in the first sentence, the word runs says something about Raman, that Raman is running. In the second sentence, the word dance says something about the girls. What are the girls doing? They are dancing. In the third sentence, the word swim says about the fish, that the fish are swimming in the river. And in the fourth sentence, the word burns says something about the fire, that the fire is burning. So, the words which tell us what people or thing are doing are called verbs. V-E-R-B-S, verbs. So, in short, we can say that a verb is a doing word. Doing word means it is an action word which shows certain action about the person or thing. What action about Raman? That he is running. What action about the girls? That they are dancing. What action about the fish? That they are swimming. And what action about the fire? That it burns. So these are the action words and we call them verbs. Now again let us read these sentences and look at the pictures. In your column A, there are 4 sentences. The cow eats. The second, Tom shuts. Third, the tailor made. And fourth, Ashok struck. And there is nothing written after those verbs. Now in column B, the first sentence is the cow eats grass. Second, Tom shut the door. Third, the tailor made shirts. Fourth, Ashok struck barley. So now the sentence on your left, that is in A column, are not complete. We want to know what the cows eat, what Tom shut, what the tailor made, and whom Ashok struck. The verbs eat, shut, made, struck must have some word or some words put after them of each so that we can make the meaning clear. Now in column B, the sentences that are in column B towards your right tell us what the cow eats, what Tom shut, what the tailor made, whom Ashok struck. In other words, words are added to the verbs to complete their meaning. So in column A, the sentences were not complete. The verb, after the verb, there was nothing that we could understand. But in column B, we can understand when something is added after the verb. Words that are added to the verbs to complete their meaning are called objects. Objects are either nouns or pronouns. Now we need to note that a verb that requires an object to complete its sense is called a transitive verb. So in the column A we had read the cow eats and that was incomplete. So it needed something to complete after it, that we wrote grass. So the grass becomes the object of the verb eat, and this verb eat will become a transitive verb. Why? Because it needs an object to complete its sense. Now let us read the first example. Birds fly, Mary wept, the sun shines. So in these sentences, the verbs do not require any object to complete its sense. Now which are the verbs here? Fly, wept, shines. Now this birds fly. It is understood that birds are flying. After fly, fly is the verb, and after fly we do not need any object or any more words to be added in this after the fly to make a sense. It is understood. Mary wept. Wept means cry. So Mary wept means she is crying. It is understood. And the sun shines. So that is also understood. We do not need anything to be added behind these words. They make complete sense by themselves. Such verbs are called intransitive verbs. So a verb that does not require an object but makes sense by itself is called an intransitive verb. But verbs also tell us what they are. But verbs also tell us what they are means. Look at these pictures and let's read these sentences. I am a teacher. We are farmers. It is a rose. So this am, are and is telling something more about the pronoun I, we and it. So now the underlying words are, am and is tell us what something or someone is. They are called the being verbs. Being, B-E-I-N-G. Being verb means something to be. What you are, they are showing. So we say it is a being verb. So being verbs are am, is, are. Am is mostly used with I. Is used when the sentence or your subject is singular. And are will be used when your subject is plural. As we saw in the above sentences, I am a teacher. Am will always used with I. We are farmers. We are. Are why we use? Because we, W-E, we is plural. So we are using are. And it is a rose. It. Why it? It is singular. One rose we are talking about. So we are writing is. And then was and were. Was is used again when anything is singular. And were is used when it is plural. And was and were are mostly used in the past tense. And be, being and been. So this also is used when we need in a singular or a plural sentence. It depends. When you read, you will understand and you will have to do the needful properly. So now let's see the examples. I am late today. Again, am why? Because it is I. I am. She is 8 years old. She, it is singular. Where are you going, Sita? Now, you is singular also we can use are. And when you, sometimes when it is in plural also we can use are. Sheila and her brother are still sleeping. Why are? Because there are two. Sheila also and her brother also. So it becomes two. So we are using are. He was their youngest son. Again, was. Why was? Because he is singular. So was. They were angry. They had lost the match. They were. Why were? Because they is plural. So we are using W-E-R-E, were. Now we need to do the exercise 1. Study the 4 characters given below. Then complete the blanks in the dialogues below with be verbs. That is, are, am, or verbs has or have. So we need to fill in with the verbs. So your first picture is shown that a child is sleeping and another one, she is having some breakfast, and your sentence is, hello, I dash Anurag. I wake up at 6 o'clock. Second sentence, I dash a friend. Her name dash Anuja. She dash breakfast at 8 o'clock. She swims every morning. Third, Anuja dash a brother. His name dash Avinash. They dash a pet dog called Joe. Avinash jogs with Joe in the park every day. So here we need to fill in the blanks with is, are, am, has or have. So come on children, let us fill in the blanks. Your first one, hello dash I dash Anurag. So you're introducing yourself, so you will write I am Anurag. I wake up at 6 o'clock. Your second, I have a friend. Here again it is I, but you can't use am. You are telling someone about you something more, that you have a friend. Her name is Anuja. She has breakfast at 8 o'clock. She swims every morning. Third one, Anuja has a brother. His name is Avinash. They have a pet dog called Joe. Avinash jogs with Joe in the park every day. Now, as we said that a verb is a doing word, it shows action. Action like running, then singing, playing, talking. These are actions. We need to show some actions to do those verbs. Now, verbs also tell us what people are saying, thinking, and feeling. So such verbs are called the saying verbs. They are also verbs. They are showing actions, but they are not movements. They are thinking words. They are sometimes saying words. Like, I promise I will help you. This promise is a verb. So this is something saying. You have to say that verb. You cannot show the action of a promise. Then I think this is a good idea. You are thinking in your mind. So you are not showing any action. You just need to say that I think. So think is also a verb. I love strawberry ice creams. Now, love is something of your feeling that you need to show by saying this word love. So love is also a verb. So these all are saying verbs. They are verbs but they don't show action, but they are saying verbs. Now here's one exercise 2. We need to underline the verbs in all the sentences. Then we need to write in the bracket A. Why A? If it is an action word, if it is showing some action. And then we need to write S for any state verbs or saying verbs. As we just read, promise, think, love, these all are saying verbs. So we will need to write an S. Now the first one is done for you. Now there may be more than one verb in a sentence. So we need to write whether both are what. For example, the first one, just see. The boy cleans his plate and puts it on the shelf. So your first one, cleans, is underlined. It is showing an action. When you clean something, your hand has to move. So it is showing an action. And there is one more word. He puts it on the shelf. Now when you put your books or something on the table or on the shelf, again you have to do some action. So this cleans and puts, both are your verbs in the sentence and they both are showing some action. So A is written in the bracket. So now we need to read all the sentences. We need to underline the verb and then we will write whether it is an action verb or a saying verb. Your second sentence, I come from Chennai. So your verb is come. Very good. We need to underline come. Now come will be what? It is a saying word. It does not show any action. You are just saying that I come from Chennai. So we need to write an S in the bracket. The third one, Stan whispered, come with me to the kitchen. Now Stan is whispering. So whisper is your verb. You need to underline and again come. So now whisper, when you whisper, you need to say something in someone else's ears. You are talking, you are showing some action. So whisper will be action verb, so that will be A, and come again will be a saying verb. So there are two verbs and both are different. One is action, one is saying. The fourth one, my sister baked a big chocolate cake. So baked. So baking needs some action. You have to do some action. So that will be your action verb. You need to write A. Fifth one, the picture looks very nice. So looks. There is nothing to do any action. So this will be a saying verb. It will be S. The sixth one, the earth revolves round the sun. Revolves, it is showing an action. It is moving around the sun. So it is A. Seventh one, the wind howled in the stormy night. Howled means the sound that is the wind is making. It is not showing any action. It is only hearing sound. So we say it is a saying verb. Eighth one, my father drives his car to office every day. Drives is your verb and that is showing an action. I love football. Love is your verb and that shows it is a saying verb. This video game is very expensive. So again, is your verb. It is a to be verb. Is, are, am, is. And it is a saying verb. Has, have and had are verbs which show possession. Now these are also verbs and they show possession, means it shows your belonging, that it belongs to you, whether it belongs to me or whether it belongs to someone. See the example, I have a pen. I have means it belongs to you. You have a pen or a pencil with you. She has some new story books. She has means those books are belonging to her. She has. They had some new stamps which were stolen. Now those stamps were whose? They had. So these are showing a belonging, and had mostly we use in the past tense. Now here's an exercise 3 which we have to fill in with has, have or had. Now has and have mostly we use in the present tense and had we use in the past tense. But sometimes when in the sentence it is not given clear whether that sentence is of the present or past, we can use any has or had. Now let us first do these sentences. It will be clear when we fill in the blanks. The first sentence, we dash 3 dogs as pets. So we is plural, so we will write have. Now here you can even write had. We had 3 dogs as pets. So both are right, have also and had also. The second one, Roshan dash a bicycle and he exercises every day on it. So this is something about the present and your future. So here we need to write has. Roshan has a bicycle and he exercises every day on it. Third one, they dash lots of games in their house to play with. So again, they is plural, so we need to write have. Again here we can use had also. They had lots of games in their house to play with. Fourth one, do you have a pen to lend me, Rati? So here we need to write have. Fifth, Rajni dash a new friend now. She is very happy. Now means it is in the present. So Rajni has a new friend now. Sixth, Mani, Kabir dash a lot of books in their house to read. So again they both are plural, 2 persons, so we need to write have. And here again you can write had also. Both your verbs are right. Your fourth exercise, underline all the transitive verbs in the following sentences. Then circle the objects of the underlying verbs. One is done for you. Now, in every sentence, again, we need to underline the verbs. Now, the verbs that have an object, how will you find your object? When we will ask a question, what, to the verb, and if we get any answer, that will be the object of that verb. For example, the first one, my cat climbs trees and scratches furniture. So now there are two verbs here. First one is climbs and your second verb is scratches. Climbs what? Trees. So trees will be your object which is circled. Scratches what? Furniture. So furniture you need to circle. And this trees and furniture will become your object. So let's just discuss the second one. Birds lay eggs in nest. So which will be your verb here? Correct. It will be lay. So lay we will underline. And what question we will ask? What? Lay what? Eggs. So eggs will be your object and we will circle the object. Okay. In this way we will do the rest of the sentences. So just we discuss the second one. Birds lay eggs in nest. So your verb is lay. We underline. Lay what? Eggs. So eggs we need to circle. Why? Because it is the object. Third one. Anjali tasted the soup and liked it. So now your verbs are tasted. You need to underline. Tasted what? Soup. So soup you will circle. It is the object of the verb tasted. And another verb liked. Underline liked. Liked what? It. So again it will be the object of liked. Fourth one. Carpenters make furniture. Tailors make clothes. So make. Make is your verb. Make what? Furniture. So furniture is your object you need to circle. And again tailors make. So make is your verb you need to underline. Make what? Clothes. So clothes you need to circle. Your fifth one. My father washes the car and I dry it with a cloth. So washes. Washes is your verb. You need to underline. Washes what? Car. So car you need to circle. That is your object. Dry. Dry also is a verb. You need to underline. Dry what? It. So it you need to circle. It is the object. Sixth one. They buy all their books from this shop. Buy. Buy what? Books. So books will be the object of your verb buy. Seventh one. We ordered chicken for lunch. Ordered. Ordered is your verb. Ordered what? Chicken. So chicken you need to circle. That is your object. Eighth one. The burglar opened the door with a duplicate key. Burglar means a robber. Your verb is opened. Opened what? Door. So door you need to circle. That is your object. Ninth. Zahir plays cricket every evening. Verb is plays. Plays what? Cricket. So cricket you need to circle. That is the object. The 10th one. The merchant gave the beggar a silver coin. Gave. Gave is the verb. Gave what? Coin. So coin will be the object of the verb give. Look at the pictures and then read the following sentences. So the first one is, the man is tired. Second, Sita seems happy. Third, the teacher became angry. Fourth, the children look healthy. So now, is, seems, became and look. All these are your verbs. Now they all are incomplete verbs. If nothing is written after that, if tired, happy, angry, healthy is not written, then these words become incomplete. So we have to add something to them. So when we add, these don't become the object of these verbs. Now let us read and then you will understand it more clearly. The verbs in these sentences do not make full meaning by themselves. Verbs means which verbs? Is, seems, became and look. Those are your verbs. They don't make complete sense if nothing is written after them. Something is added to them to complete the sense. Something was added to them like tired, happy, angry and healthy. But what is added is not the verb. As I said that these are not your objects. Sorry, they are not your objects. Therefore, these verbs are not transitive. When we add something to the verb, we say that it is the object of that verb and it becomes a transitive verb. But here, what we added after the verb, they are not your objects. So these verbs are not transitive. In these sentences, some words are required to form complete predicates. Complete predicates means we have to add something to that verb. We have to give it a complement. So we say that these are called the complement words. The word tired, which tells us what the old man is. It is showing about the old man that he is tired, and which is required to form a complete predicate, is called the complement of the verb is. The word happy is a complement to the verb seems. The word angry is a complement to the verb became. The word healthy is the complement to the verb look. So a word required to form a complete predicate is called a complement of the verb. Complete predicate means the half part of a sentence. The further part is the subject, and if you need something to complete the verb, the understanding of that sentence with a word, but it is not the object. So we say it is the complement of that verb. Now your exercise 5, in the following sentences you need to underline the transitive, intransitive and complements. Now transitive will be what? When it answers the question what to the verb and we get any object, we say it is transitive. And if we understand it is complete sentence, it is intransitive. And certain verbs will be a complement. Your first one, Ashok wrote a letter. So first thing we find the verb that is wrote and we underline it. Wrote what letter? So letter is the object of the verb wrote. So this wrote will be which verb? It will be a transitive verb. Second one, the baby sleeps. Your verb is sleeps. It is understood. You don't need anything. Sleeps what? Do you have anything after sleeps? No. It is clear that the baby is sleeping. So this is your intransitive. Third, Hari seems tired. Seems is your verb. Now, tired is not an object. It is showing something more about Hari. Okay. So this will be your complement. Fourth one, the old man is dead. Now is dead. Is what? Is dead. So it will become intransitive. Fifth one, the child appears pleased. Appears is your verb and pleased is again a complement to the verb. So we write there complement. Sixth one, Meera was unhappy. Your verb is was. And again it shows a complement, that unhappy is a complement to was. Seventh one, Sita was very happy. Again was is your verb, we need to underline. And again happy, very happy. It's a complement, so we need to write there complement. Eighth one, the man laughed. Understood. You don't need any object after the verb laughed. So it is intransitive. Ninth one, he writes novels. Writes is your verb. Writes what? Novels. The novel is your object and this will be transitive. Tenth one, the boy bit the boy. Sorry, the dog bit the boy. So bit will be your verb, bit whom, the boy. So again the boy will become transitive. 11th one, the weather was cold. Verb is was. Again cold is a complement to was. So we write complement. 12th one, the sun shines. Shines is your verb and it does not need any object. The sentence is complete and it is understood. So this verb will be intransitive. 13th one, Sita gathered roses. Gathered is your verb. You underline. Gathered what? Roses. So roses will be your object. So gathered will be your transitive verb. 14th one, the boy made a kite. Made is your verb. You underline. Made what? Kite. So kite will be your object and made will become your transitive verb. 15th one, the fire burned the house. Burnt is your verb. Burnt what? House. So house is your object and again this will be your transitive verb. There are 3 more sentences. So let us complete them. 16th one, sparrows chirp. So chirp is your verb and it does not need any object. So this will be intransitive. 17th, he went mad. Went is your verb and mad is the complement to the verb. So we write complement. 18th one, she looks sad. Again looked is your verb and sad is a complement to that verb. So again we write complement. Now in the 6th exercise, we need to read the sentences and we need to pick out the object and the complement. So first we will find out the verb and we'll ask the question what, and if we get any object, so we will write it in the column of object, and if there is a complement, we will write it in the complement. So come on children, let us do this 6th exercise. Your first one, he broke the slate. So broke is your verb, you need to underline. And broke what? Slate. So slate is your object and we write it in the column of object, slate, and we put a dash in complement. Second one, the earth is round. Is your verb and round, it is not the object, it is some complement given to the earth. So we write round in the complement and in object we put a dash. Third one, she burnt her fingers. Burnt is your verb. Burnt what? Fingers. So fingers will be the object. Fourth one, she looks happy. Looks is your verb. Again happy is not the object, it is a complement. So happy we write in the complement column. Fifth one, Bali is strong. Is your verb. And strong, very good, it is a complement. So write it in the column of complement. Sixth, the policeman caught the thief. Caught is your verb. Caught whom? The thief. So thief will become your object. Seventh, the children were hungry. Were is your verb. Hungry, again it is the complement, so we write in the complement column. Eighth, the sky grew dark. Grew is your verb and dark is your complement. Ninth, Rama became angry. Became is your verb. Angry is your complement. 10th, the woodman was honest. Was is your verb. Honest is the complement of that verb. Now exercise 7, we need to choose the correct verb from the complete the sentence. And the options are given to us in the brackets. The first one is done for you. Let us do sugar dash sweet. The words in the brackets are smells, tastes or feels. So sugar tastes sweet. So we need to write taste in the blank. So let us do the rest of the sentences. Your second one, ships dash across the sea. Sail, walk or fly? Correct, it's sail. So we put a tick mark and we write also sail, S-A-I-L. Third, wood dash on water. Swims, flows or floats. Floats. Put a tick mark and write floats. Floats. Fourth, the wind dash my hat off. Drove, blew or flew. Correct, it's blew. BLEW. Fifth one, my paper boat dashed down the stream. Flew, floated or swam. Floated. 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 Sixth, fish dash in the sea. Swim, flow or float. Correct, swim. SWIM. Seventh, the man dash a pipe. Pipe means a type of a cigarette. So, drinks, smokes or burns. So, it will be smokes. SMOKES. Eighth one, the child dash pleased. Thinks, appears or becomes. Correct, appears. APPEARS. Ninth one, the workman dash tired. Seems, thinks or grows. Correct, seems. SEEMS. So I hope children you have understood this fourth lesson of verbs. And now the homework for you is that you need to complete all the 7 exercises in your grammar textbook itself. And remember children to please write neatly and clearly, because you need to learn from this grammar textbook itself. So thank you and have a very nice day.